Welcome back to the SimZone, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Spa for the first round of the IMB Racewear GT3 Championship, and we are about 7 minutes into this qualifying session. Currently, Castorino with a 2-minute 15.8 here on an optimum track. A very good track temps as well, and ambient temps, so we're definitely going to see some very, very fast times. I mean, a 2:15 is a very quick time already. So we look forward to seeing what Castorino can do on track. We've got Trapani in P2, currently there in the Ferrari, 7 tenths off on a 2-minute 16.5. Then we've got Sobzik in P3 on a 2-minute 16.5 as well. So very, very close between P2 and P3, only separated by 100th here. But before we go any further, make sure to check out our sponsors, IMB Racewear. Link is in the description. They do very, very high quality simwear, and it's not just gloves and boots. They can provide more things, from hoodies to things like jerseys, and a variety of things they can provide for sim racing as well. But we go back to the racing. The top four all within a second of each other at the moment. Sidor currently in the Porsche, lapping in the 2-minute 16s as well. So that's very quick here from Sidor. But he's going to, I think he's going to struggle in the race, especially down the Kemmel Straight. We saw him at Paul Ricard yesterday. It was. It feels like ages ago now, but it was only yesterday. And he did an amazing job. He started P8. And made his way all the way up to, I believe it was P5. And yeah, was able to keep up with a lot of the cars on the straight, so he might be okay here, depending what setup he's running. But we'll just have to wait and see until we get to the race. But we look towards P6. Carlino here, currently 3 tenths up. Let's go on board with him for the rest of this lap. He is in the Aston Martin, which is quite a good car at Spa anyways. You can see her coming through Puan, still up on his time, I believe. Yep, he's 4 tenths up here. This could easily put him onto the second row provisionally. Oh no, but Leonard Tocchi there puts it on pole, 2-minute 15.4. He's beaten Castorino there by 3, only 4 tenths here. And what can Carlino do? He's coming all the way down here into sector 3 now. This is flat out all the way to the end of the well, all the way up into the bus stop chicane, coming through Blanchimont. Now this is flat as well. You can see no lift for Carlino getting through there with ease as we come towards the bus stop. How late is he going to brake? Very late indeed. And he is 7 tenths up. This can be a very good lap here from Carlino, but will it be on the front row? No, it's not going to be on the front row. It's not even going to be on the second row. Puts it into P5 provisionally there. And that just shows how close P3 to P7 is at the moment. But Tocchi with an amazing lap. Sidor has just started a new lap here. The number 777 BMW, currently a 10th up. Let's look further down the field. Patrick Den in the Audi, only 6 tenths up as he comes through Blanchimont now. 6 tenths will put him, actually improved quite a bit here. He's currently sitting in P17, so he will gain quite a few positions. In fact, as long as he can hold it as we come up through the last chicane here. He's still 7 tenths up. The exit is so important here, and he's now 8 tenths up. What's it going to be here? Where is it going to put him? He crosses the line, P11 there for Den. What a lap from him at P11. Still 2.5 seconds back. It just shows, it goes to show how fast these top guys are, the top 2 especially, within 4 tenths of each other. Absolutely alien times here at Spa, and I think they're going to be ones to watch out for in the race. We've got D'Angelo here, who has well, he's still barely close to Oh, he's very close to Den there in P11, and he has only pretty much just started the lap. He's a minute into this lap now, so he's still got another minute left to go. We're exactly halfway into this lap now. And he is currently half a second up, so half a second is going to put him round about P10, P9. And once again, another driver in the Aston as well. We've got quite a few Astons in this championship, actually. We've got Curtin, Brownhill, Matheson there in P13, who's returning this season. Angelo here, who we're currently watching. Carlino in P5 is the highest running Aston Martin at the moment. And we've currently got 30 people watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tell us in the comments, or give us hi in the comments. We've got CJ saying, let's go Alan and Paul. Yep, you got it right this time. You got it right this time, Cody. They are racing in this one. Deedee, good to see you showing support for the wall, also known as Jan Barth. But D'Angelo here is going to exit the final chicane. He's found another 3/10 there. He's now 8/10 up. Once again, he's going to cross the line. P10 there for D'Angelo. And that is still 1.8 seconds off of that provisional pole time. But we look down towards... Actually, let's have a look at Jan, who's in the trusty Porsche. I believe that's his favourite car ever. It's the only car we've ever seen him drive, I think. He's currently sitting in P19. We have 36 cars on track at the moment. Let's look further down. Everyone has been able to put in a lap time. No, Novak hasn't put in a lap yet. And he is on an invalid lap as well, so he's going to have to go around another time. And I think, yeah, this will be his last chance to improve. He won't get around in time to set another lap. So I think it's just going to have to be a banker here for Novak. And looks like Hankerson in the pits, and Breen, who also races on the PS5 with us as well. Currently sitting in P4. Messia Gowowski here in P33 in the M6 BMW. I haven't seen that car being used in absolutely ages, but it does sound brilliant, and it's good to see it back out on track. It does look brilliant as well, but he's run wide. That's going to be an invalid. I think he's yeah, he's going to have to return. Actually, no, he's got time to set another lap here, as long as he's got enough fuel in the tank to do so. Cameron Pugh here, one of the admins here at the SimZone as well. He's going to be continuing. This will be his last lap. He's currently sitting in P30 on a 2-minute 20.7. Now, 2-minute 20s isn't really a bad lap at all. But the top guys here at the moment in this championship are on another level. We switch back to Otoki here, who is a 10th up, just starting this lap. The Ferrari, a very, very quick car at Spa as well. So no surprise that he is at the top, but it takes a very good driver to set these lap times. And of course the Honda, a very quick car. It has been slightly nerfed recently. That doesn't mean it's not capable of getting these quick times as well. You can see the rubber on the racing line there. It is an optimum track, so drivers will have quite a bit of grip, even though the temperatures aren't extremely warm. You see that the wait time incorrect. Ignore that wait time. Don't worry about that. We will forward the session afterwards. But Trapani is 2/10 up at the moment. Sobzik is 2/10 up as well. Castorino's 2/10 up. 3/10 up now. This could be interesting. Could be very close between these two. Castorino's still got a bit of the lap to go, so he could find some more time here. And Otoki doesn't look like he's going to improve, so his qualifying session is probably going to come to an end without an improvement. And Castorino now is going to have to hold on to this delta he's got and see if he can find any more time to that final bus stop chicane, because that's pretty much the only breaking point we're going to come up to. And let's see if he can improve. Sobzik is still... No, looks like he's lost it, but Castorino 4/10 up now. Is it going to be pole here for Castorino? He's held it, but oh, it's going to be ever so close between these two, and he's going to cross the line there with just under a 10th separating the top two as Castorino crosses the line. We look towards Trapani, who's coming through the chicane now. 4 tenths up. This is going to put him on the well, in P3 as he crosses the line. There we go, P3 for Trapani. And wow, that was an amazing qualifying session there towards the end. But there we have it, Atoki on pole, Castorino in P2 and Trapani in P3. We'll be back very shortly for the start of the race, so make sure to stick with us. Alright, so we are on the starting grid now, waiting for the drivers to get ready with their formation lap. And for those that are new here to the SimZone, for those that are watching, be sure to comment in the chat. Like we said there, we would love to interact with you guys more. But for those that are new as well, we have a mandatory pit stop in this race, if you're not familiar with what we do already. So drivers in this race have to serve a pit stop within the pit window, which opens 20 minutes into the race and closes 20 minutes for the end as well. And in that pit stop they will have to serve, well, they have to do mandatory refueling, they have to, well, they have the option to change tyres, so we're going to see some interesting strategies going on, especially for those that are stuck in some battles. Here we go, onto the formation lap. Track colder than it was in qualifying, so it's going to be ever so important for the drivers to get enough temp into their tyres, enough temps into their brakes, so that they can feel confident enough going into the braking zones. have enough grip going into some of these corners as well. But as we saw in qualifying, Hooschii taking pole by just under a tenth. Castorino, he had it in him to take pole, lost it slightly on the exit of the bus stop chicane. He was 4/10 up and then lost a tenth on the exit, and that's what cost him pole there. But P2 is still a very good position to start. It's going to be a very close battle indeed with the top two. Trapani as well is there. Also in the Racing Point Ferrari, I believe. Yes, it's the Racing Point Ferrari there of Trapani. And then they've got Sobzik in the BMW. Just behind them, Carlino in P5. Hansko in P6 there. In the SPQ Racing team. It's a 1 hour race here at Spa as well. Now, the trickiest part is definitely going to be the start coming through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. We've seen some big crashes happen before, not just in this league. Happens in real racing, happens in many other leagues in sim racing, but let's hope everyone can get through cleanly. Now, Eau Rouge and Raidillon is not an easy corner either. It comes down to your setup, how much confidence you've got as well going through there. Just gonna have to wait and see, and pray that the sim racing gods, or pray that the drivers on the track can give each other enough respect and keep it clean into Eau Rouge. And then obviously you've got that long straight that we are going to see some overtakes done on. Drivers should be lining up side by side very shortly. And we've got SVW, also known as Sander there. Love all these races. Every evening a race is awesome. Yeah, it's brilliant. Thanks for that, SVW. It's great to see you in the comments as well. Pretty much races every evening, apart from Thursdays, but we're going to have something on Thursdays soon as well. It won't be broadcasted, of course, it'll just be for a bit of fun. It'll be on a variety of sims. So like I explained earlier in the general chat, we'll have Dirt 2.0, we'll have GT7, and some ACC stuff as well, but not GT3s. We've got GT3s all the time, so something different, but we're going to see the drivers after they exit turn 1 getting ready to start the race. Obviously the starting and finishing positions here at Spa are different, so we start on the exit of turn 1 down towards Eau Rouge, and then we actually finish the race here on the exit of the final corner, just directly where that white line is, under the advertisement board there. Here we go, let's look at Hooschii here, who's going to be starting this race on pole. Castorino lining up on the front row, Trapani in P3 on the second row, and Sobzik in P4 also on the second row. The BMW not the quickest on the straight, so it's going to struggle down the Kemmel straight, but let's see. We're about to go green very shortly here. And we are green there. Very good start from the Honda on the inside. And looks like he's going to take the lead here into turn 1 Rouge. There's already been contact there. Looks like a few cars moving across on each other. Yellow flags there in the background. But looks like Castorino and Hooschii have made it through cleanly. And Castorino is going to lead the race now. Hooschii behind, now on the attack. Sobzik there in P3. Trapani in P4. Hansko has moved, I think, further down the order. No, he's still in P5 here. It's Hansko, but we lost someone there. Had a huge accident. I'm not sure who it was. It was one of the Aston Martins, but they would have been into the wall. It might even be Angelo. Let's see who lost. No, it's Carlino. in the Aston, but he's going to make a move down the inside. He's on a recovery drive now. He does have a bit of damage. But yeah, it's a massive recovery drive now for Carlino. It doesn't look to be too bad. So he's going to wait till the pit window, obviously, to repair this. And I wouldn't be pitting just this moment, but there's a huge group of cars here in the background, and a bit of contact there between the two, but I don't think that was Carlino's fault whatsoever. And obviously he's out of position, so he's going to be flying past these drivers at the back, but he's going to have to be careful. Look at this group just up ahead. Yeah, it looks like that was Jan Barth going side by side with Kusinskas. These two have raced with each other before in previous seasons, both patrons here at the SimZone, and once again, while we're at it, thanks to all our patrons who are continuously supporting us. This definitely wouldn't be possible without you guys, and of course patrons here at the SimZone do get extra benefits, and the straight line speed of the Lexus is going to fly back past Jan Barth, and he's going to regain that position, but we'll move back to the race leader, Castorino, who holds on here for another lap. DeedeeTKU in P2, and the fast lap just bouncing between drivers there. Obviously it's not going to be a quick fast lap. It's not going to be anywhere near their qualifying pace, since it was the first lap, but we are going to see these times improve on the second lap. These top 5, top 6 really, still battling out. They're a bit spread out now. Spa sort of does that. Right, we've got Castorino followed by Otoki, then Sobzik, then Trapani, then Hansko, then Ben Mullard. Mullard, a returning driver here at the SimZone. You can see in the background Sidor looking to the inside here. No, in fact, he's defending against Shivo. Shivo on the outside. He needs to be later on the brakes if he wants to get this move done. Sidor still there, bit of contact between the two, and looks like the Ferrari, they're just squeezing Sidor on the inside. We've got a bit more contact there in the background. That's, I believe, one of the... I think that was Tom Curtin who had a bit of contact there, off onto the runoff there, but he's got it going once again. It's dropped down to P20 now as Curtin started in P16, so he's lost 4 positions or even more after that incident, but he's now behind one of his good friends here, Barth, so they'll be battling on track together, maybe even working together. You can see in the background quite a few battles going on. Bucheri here in the lime green Ferrari, followed by Mesiagovski, who's going side by side with Sainino here, or Sainio, and looks like there's been a bit of contact between the two as well. Doesn't look like there was space on the inside for Sainio. Carlino comes through, he's already up into P23, Novak through as well, Blanchette through now up into P25, and that BMW of Mesiagovski's not going to be happy there, but looks like he didn't pick up much damage. He's now down into P35, so he's got some recovery to do here, but I'm sure there's going to be some steward reports going out very soon. Well, not very soon, at the end of the race. There's going to be a few unhappy drivers, I think, but luckily we had a very clean start for Spa through Eau and Radion. It was very, very good, so very impressed with the majority of the field, but Castorino still leads here with a 7/10 gap to Otoki. Otoki closing back in there, coming into turn 1 La Source, but it's going to be these two pulling away from Sobzik and the rest of the field. It looks like the gap's already 1.5 seconds to Sobzik now. Trapani losing time now, maybe having to defend from Ko earlier on this lap. Mullard catching up as well. He's only 7/10 here, so he's on a mission at the moment, but he's got the Ferrari to deal with. Ferrari's a very good car on this track. Likewise is the Audi, but it's a bit more scary in the Audi than it is in the Ferrari, I'd say. But the Mullard doing good here, and the downshifts of that Audi absolutely amazing. It sounds unreal here, and he's going to continue with this race. Let's look down to Shivo, who's up into P7 now. Paletella, there we go, that was a bit of a mouthful, in P8. Currently 1.5 seconds behind Shivo as well. We look down towards this battle here. Look at this train. We've got D'Angelo followed by Brownhill, then Kucha, then Sidor. Sidor obviously having a bit of contact earlier on to drop down in the order. He started in P8, he's now down into P12, so he's lost 4 positions off the start, but I'm sure with Sidor being an experienced driver here, not just only in the SimZone, I'm sure he's raced elsewhere. But he is one to look out for. Very, very quick driver is Sidor. No, he's right at the back of the Honda there. No space to make a move around the outside there. The Honda closing the door. But I think it's just a matter of time before Sidor can get past here. Let's see if we can find any more battles throughout the field. While we watch these three as well. Looks like we've got yes, Pryor. I think we've got both Pryors in this race again. Do we actually? Yes. Brilliant. We do, and guess what? They are next to each other. We've got Matt Pryor and Stuart Pryor once again racing in here. Matt Pryor a few seconds back though. He's defending from Paul Mitchell there in the Audi just behind him. Mitchell running in P28 at the moment, so he's only a second off as well. So he's one to watch out for in this race. But we skip to Stuart Pryor here, who is in this battle with Novak, Blanchett, and Sainio as well. So, oh, looks like that is one of the Porsches in the mix as well. I think that Porsche is probably a lap down. Is that's not Barth. I'm not sure what's happened there. Kutscher has lost the car. He's into the barriers. Here's Kutscher. And he's returned to the car to the pit. So not exactly sure what's happened there. We will get a replay out to see what exactly happened. But let's look back down to that battle we were watching. It was Stuart Pryor here. Looks like Matt Pryor's gained a position on Butchery here. They are very, very close. In fact, Butchery's had to get onto the runoff, and he's going to lose a number of positions here, rejoining. And he's managed to only lose a couple of positions, but Mitchell gets past there. Rees and Kusinskas behind, not able to get past just yet. Kusinskas on the outside, and it looks like Rees is going to hold on to that position. Very nice livery there from Rees, in fact. Is it the Welsh flag on top of his car? Can't quite see properly. It looks like it is. But we've also got another few battles going on here. We've got Stuart Pryor. We've got to be specific here because there are two of them. They're not related in any way, but Kutcher's still in the pits, so he's going to have to wait a few minutes to go back out on track, if he wants to go back on track, of course. It would be a shame if he has retired the car. Obviously there is a drop round in this championship. It looks like Rees still not able to go for this move just yet. We'll quickly skip to the battle for P16. Meggieri, I'm pretty sure I've butchered that name, but it's okay. Let's call him the Istvan here, that's probably better. Having to defend against oh, this is going to be another difficult one. It's going to take some time, so bear with me to get used to these names. Benequista, I think I got that right, or close enough at least. So Benequista, very close to the back of that McLaren. He runs slightly wide there onto the Toasters curb on the outside, and he's lost a bit of time as a result. The gap now 7/10 between these two, and the Ferrari obviously going to have a slipstream, but the McLaren of well, the number 10 McLaren there, not too far for Puschetti, but Puschetti now opening up a second gap, so that slipstream is not really going to be viable here. And you can see the Ferrari already closing in, coming down the Kemmel Straight, now into the braking zone. Let's see how close he can get, even closer now into the braking zone. The gap's not 7/10 anymore, it's only about 4/10 between these two. And you can see in the background, that is Curtin and Barth here, who are very, very close. You can see also that is Matt Pryor down the inside of Novak, the Porsche. He's on the outside now. We have the inside from the next corner. He gets very squirrely, but he's managed to make the move stick. And there we go. They are side by side still. Novak looking for an immediate reply back. Is he going to get it done? No, he has to back out of that move. That's allowed Stuart Pryor to catch up once again. So some great battles already in this race. But for Matt Pryor, he's going to be looking to pull away from those two behind him now. They are lapping very similarly. their last laps, 220s, 221s. We'll see what Matt Pryor can do. We'll skip back to the race leader, who's now a jockey, so we didn't quite catch what happened there. Sobzik now in P2. Castorino's dropped right down the order here, and he's trying to find a way there down the inside. There wasn't really space there for Castorino, and there's contact there. Hansco losing the car as a result, and Hansco's not going to be happy with that. Castorino with a very late move down the inside. I don't think that was going to come out well at all in any circumstance, but it looks like Shivo down the inside there of Hansco as well. Hansco is going to get a switch back. They're going to be side by side. He is going to be alongside now, so we're coming down towards Eau Rouge. Who's going to back out? It looks like Hansco is going to get that position back, so what a switch back there through La Source. It's paid off for him, but coming down the Camel Straights there, it's going to be these two side by side once again. Shivo on the outside this time. He's going to need to be very late on the brakes, but it looks like the Ferrari of Co just has better straight line speed, maybe running less wing here, and he's going to hold on to that position. So Co back up into P6, and as a result, Palatella has caught back up, and now leading this train is Mullard in P5. And he obviously started in P7, so he's gained 2 positions due to mishaps of the others. You can see here now that is Novak having to defend against Stuart Pryor. The Porsche doesn't have the legs on the straight, so Stuart Pryor down the inside. These two are going to still be side by side. Can Novak hold it there on the inside? Looks like he has, and he's going to close the door there, so Pryor having to back out of that. Novak holds on. We're driving between those two. Let's see what other battles we can catch throughout the grid. We've got D'Angelo and Sidor very close, just separated by a second here. Sidor has been trying everything he can to get past. Oops, let's switch to Sidor, that's better. And we've got, wow, 40 people watching. Make sure to hit that like button. Keep the comments coming, everyone. CJ saying, where are Wins and P-Mitch? P-Mitch is Mitchell, who we did watch earlier. He's currently running in P28. Wins is Alan Green running in P34, so second to last at the moment. Sidor not going for this move. It's too far back to do so. Looks like Montefusco is in the pits there in P35, so I believe that's another retirement. I think that's 2 retirements this race already. We're only 15 minutes into the race, so unfortunate for those two. It's here coming through the source. A bit deep on the brakes there for Sidor. She's not going to have the best of exits. Sander saying, oh, Simamero, good to see you. Sander saying, why is literally no one driving the Mercedes on PC? Well, I'm not too sure actually. It might just be the track selection or the group of drivers that we've got. Mercedes is still a very quick car on ACC. It just depends on what your preferences are, really. You can see Sidor losing a lot of time down the Kemmel straight. The sound of the Porsche, especially when it hits 6th gear there. And he's closed in through the corners. That's the good thing about the Porsche. You can get the rotation done quickly and get on the power as soon as possible. And he's going to look towards the inside. He is. He's going to send it down the inside. D'Angelo having to leave some room here, there, door to door. And let's go trackside here. Is Sidor going to try and get this done around the outside? And he is going to do it. What a move there from Sidor. Let's get a quick replay of that. An amazing move from Sidor there. You can see there, just hangs it around the outside, gets later on the brakes, and leaves no room for D'Angelo to get back past. So what a move there from Sidor around the outside into No Name. We look down towards P15. There's non-stop action here in this race. Pochetti defending against Benaquista. Benaquista looking to the inside, but has to back out of that, and he's lost some time as a result. They are pulling away from the McLaren behind them, though. The gap 1.5 seconds to the McLaren, but if they continue to battle hard, that McLaren is going to catch up. Curtin and Barth may be able to catch up as well. Let's also have a look at what's going on with the leaders. It looks like Atoki is, well, 2.5 seconds to P2, so nothing really going on there, but looks like we've got a battle for P2, and looks like all side by side here. Buschetti, oh, Benequista spinning the car. I don't think that was anyone's fault but his own. Got a bit too early on the power and unfortunately lost the car, but it looks like we've still got this battle for P2, which we'll bring up now. Here we go. So it looks like that is Castorino in front, followed by Trapani there in the Ferrari, the number 2 Ferrari there right behind. Now Trapani did lose that position into La Source. Castorino got it down the inside. Trapani wasn't able to do anything to defend. So he'll be looking to catch back up to Castorino here. Well, they're still already close, but he'll be looking to get this position back. Now we do have a pit window that does open in about 3 minutes here. So we may see some drivers diving into the pits very early on to try and go for an undercut. Let's see if there are any other drivers we can have a look at. I mean, well, there's plenty. It's just, who do we choose? We can go back to Palatella here and Shivo. Shivo in P8 there in the Ferrari. Very nice livery on that Ferrari, actually. Do like that a lot, but he's catching up to Palatella. Their last laps very, very similar. Shivo on a 217.9, Palatella on a 217.7. So Shivo 2/10 slower, but on this lap he looks like he's caught up. He's definitely catching, and I think that slipstream helping, especially as we come through the final sector. Now this is flat all the way until the bus stop chicane. This is what's going to help the Ferrari catch up to that BMW in front, and actually these two are also catching Coe and Mullard, P6 and P5 in front. You can see them just going through Blanchimont now, and we could have a full car battle once again for P5 here, but looks like surprisingly the Ferrari hasn't been able to close in enough, although through the bus stop chicane very late on the brakes there for Shivo, and I think that's going to compromise his exit. There we go, you can see the BMW pulling away once again. So the gap pretty much stays the same between these two, but they're definitely catching Palatella and Coe, and looks like, is that a disconnection? Oh, no. Oh, thank God. Palatella is still with us. It gave me a bit of a scare. Because Palatella's running such a good race at the moment. In fact, he's qualified P11. He's moved up 4 positions, so let's hope, fingers crossed, he can stay connected in this race. Looks like Meshogovsky had another off there, yellow flags for him, but he's got it going once again. Really struggling with that M6 at the moment, but it's good to see it out on track. I mean, it sounds amazing as well. Looking up to Hansen in P30. Oh no, wait, Benequista with another yellow flag. He's facing the wrong way, and he's got some more damage on that Ferrari. No, he's facing the right way, in fact. And I think Benequista's had a bit of trouble this race. That damage is not going to be helping whatsoever. He's going to want to get that into the pits as soon as the pit window opens, probably this lap. And you can see that he's being caught up by Blanchette, Pryor, Sanio as well. And looks like Rees and Novak here side by side. And looks like, oh, who's that off? One of the Audis there off the track. You have to wait to rejoin, but Rees back up into P24 ahead of Novak here. And that livery, I really like that livery on the BMW of Rees, especially how it blends. It's a nice gradient across the car, but enough about liveries anyways. Focus on the racing. Looks like Blanchette on the back of Benequista. Oh, the Ferrari in the background of Bucherri there. Very wide through no name. Blanchette very close to Benequista here. The two Ferraris almost side by side now. Is Blanchette? No, I don't think he's going to get this done. Benequista's going to hold it down the inside, and that is Matt Pryor now joining in the action. Let's get an onboard here with Matt Pryor. He's going to try and follow Blanchette past. A bit of a dummy there from Blanchette. Is it going to work? These two very, very close. I think Benequista had to move out the way there to avoid contact. But now it's going to allow Pryor to slingshot past Beniquista there, and now he's got the slipstream of Blanchette as well, so he could be looking to gain another position, maybe into the bus stop, unless of course he does decide to pit. Carlino into the pits, Co into the pits now as well. And no, Blanchette is going to hold on to that position, although he goes defensive and he's going to go deep there into the bus stop chicane. I are going to try and get a switchback, focus on the better exit, and it's worked. He's going to look towards the inside. He's found a gap here as we come up towards La Source. He's going to have the inside here. He's going to need to be later on the brakes to stop Blanchette holding around the outside. They're still side by side, but I think Pryor with a great move there up the inside and up into P19. So Blanchette not able to defend that position. It didn't look like he was going to defend that much, but yeah, that defensive move into the bus stop chicane and the late braking didn't help him one bit. He runs wide there on the top of Radion, but we skip to P14 Puschetti, who is having to defend here against the McLaren behind. They've got Curtin in the background there for Assetto Racing Team in the Aston Martin. Big Al Sim Racing, Alan Breen saying he's just been disconnected. Oh no. That's a shame for Alan. You are able to rejoin, but I'm not sure if you want to after a disconnection. I believe you still keep your laps, but I'm not entirely sure. And the McLaren with a much better exit there. He's had to lift off there to avoid making contact with Puschetti. But he's going to have the slipstream. As we know, the BMW not the quickest on the straights, but it looks like he's going to hold his own here as we come up towards Rochemont. You can see the McLaren closing in ever so slightly, but it's not going to be enough as we approach the bus stop chicane. Although Puschetti going defensive here, that's going to leave a switchback opportunity for the McLaren, and is he going to focus on a better exit? You can see how much Curtin in the background is closed up. This is now a three-way battle as we continue another lap here. But Puschetti able to defend his position once more, and the McLaren looking to the inside, backs out of that move, but he's showing himself there in the rear view mirrors of Puschetti, and he's really putting on the pressure here, looking to get past. And let's have a quick read of the comments once again. Ezuro in the comments. I'm awful with names at the moment, but appreciate that, saying that's a very professional coverage. Means a lot, thank you very much. And Puschetti still holding on to this position, which is good to see. We skip back to the race leader, Batocchi, with a 6.7 lead, a 6.7 gap to Sobzik there in P2. He's been lapping 3/10 quicker than Sobzik. At least that last lap he was 3/10 quicker. And he looks to be pulling away every lap here. Castorino still with the fastest lap, a 2:15.9. Castorino, he's on a mission to gain some more places back. He's only 2 seconds back to Sobzik. At least that last lap he was 2/10 quicker. You can see there Sobzik just up ahead in that black and red BMW. We skip to this battle for P9. Looks like Brownhill closing in on D'Angelo. Both of these drivers, in the Aston Martin. You can hear the roar of the car, especially when there's two of them next to each other. It definitely amplifies it. Let's go on board here with Brownhill. He's got the slipstream. He is closing in the SPQR driver in front, and he's looking towards the inside. It's not going to be a move that's going to come off well, so he backs out of that. But will we see Brownhill diving into the pits? No, it's going to stay out. So still another 14 minutes of the pit window to go. Looks like Matheson and Van Hoorn very close as well. Van Hoorn having to defend his position under these two in the Aston as well. So we've got two separate battles, two separate Aston battles going on here. Castorino now into the pits in the hopes for an undercut. You saw there Matheson had a peek down the inside, but didn't quite go for that one this time around. Blanchett and Pryor still separated by a few tenths here. We'll quickly switch to them now, P18 and P19. These two have raced together many times. They've raced with us in the early seasons of the SimZone, actually. I think in season 4, season 5, one of those. We're in season 8 now, so I don't quite remember. But yeah, they have raced with us before, and it's great to see them back out on track, battling with each other. You can see their sparks flying from the Audi just up ahead. In fact, this is a different Pryor. I completely forgot there's two Pryors. Again, Stuart Pryor was the one I was meant to say. But just, you know what, let's just ignore what I said to avoid confusion. It's caught me out again. It didn't catch me out on, oh, yesterday it was at Paul Ricard. These two are racing, oh, both Pryors are racing there as well. But yeah, I'm thinking about going in the same car for next season, just to make it even more confusing. Let's hope they don't. You can see here Matt Pryor now pulling away from Blanchett, so Blanchett may be thinking about pitting this lap. Tyres may be wearing off now. Something into the pits, so that's P2 now into the pits for his mandatory pit stop. Brownhill still keeping that gap to D'Angelo. Sparks flying once again from the Aston driver in front as they went through Blanchemont, but Brownhill, I think, should dive into the pits now, try and get an undercut. A bit of oversteer there for D'Angelo into the bus stop chicane, but no, these two are going to stay out. Brownhill wants to get this position done on track. He doesn't want any pit stops in decided position. He wants to get this overdate done as soon as possible. Or he's just waiting for D'Angelo to pit and follow him through. We don't know what they're thinking, but we can only assume. See there are a number of drivers now into the pits. Let's look further down. Onto Fusco back out on track, which is good to see. That's a lovely livery there on the Audi. God, it does look quite good from above. Mesyagovsky is still out on track, which is good to see. Good to see him continuing the race, and he'll still pick up points for P33, which is not a bad place to be at all. And Hansen still yet to pit, so he'll drop down the order when he does. Mitchell into the pits now as well, and he has served his mandatory pit stop, so I believe he's now exiting the pits. Yep, there we go, he's exiting them. Actually, no. Let's hope he doesn't have to serve another pit stop here. He does show he's already served it. Oh, he's pulling back into his box, so I think he's made a mistake as Mitchell, which is really unfortunate, because he's going to drop down the order once more. There we go, losing a position to Mesyagovsky. But we skip back to the race leader, Otoki. A 13-second lead to Trapani. Now, obviously, Sobzik running in P2 was a bit closer, so we'll wait to see where Toki and Trapani come out on track when they do pit. But at the moment, D'Angelo and Brownhill still battling. Brownhill looking towards the inside. That was the closest he's ever been, I think, for a move. But is he going to pit now? No, he's still going to keep it out on track. Interesting, because he definitely has the pace to get past. That last lap, at least, he was... No, he was a 10th slower that last lap, but the lap before that, he was a 10th quicker. I think if he's released into clean air, can definitely put in the laps and try and get past. There we go, Curtin, Crescetti and Barth all into the pits at the same time. We've got Castorino and Sobzik battling for position now. We saw Castorino about 2 seconds back before the pit stops, and he's now right in the back of him here. So will Castorino be able to get past? He's going to have the slipstream. Flash of the lights there from Sobzik indicating to Bogas to move out the way, but he's not really... There's no blue flags just yet. Bogas obviously on a different strategy, so he doesn't have to move out the way. That bit of very late on the brakes there for Castorino. He's completely missed the corner, and he's going to have to rejoin there, and he's going to lose time as well. Looks like Bogas into the pits. I think struggling with connection at the moment is Bogas. I don't believe he's from the EU anywhere, so that may be why he is struggling with connection. But Castorino now separated. Well, that gap's back to 1.5–2 seconds now between these two. You can see just one mistake, how much time it costs you. Brown here on D'Angelo still very close. Let's bring that up as well. That battle continuing on. Now they're coming towards the end of the lap. I think we're going to see them pit very, very shortly. The race leader now into the pits. Otoki serving his mandatory pit stop. And looks like we've got a bit of a collision here. Benequista and was it Kacinskas may have had a collision. No, doesn't look like it. But look at this, so many drivers in the pits at the moment. We skip back to this battle between these two. Now Brownhill, there you can see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Is he going to pit? No, he's going to stay out on track. But the Aston in front, who he's battling with, is into the pits now. Now where's Pachetti exiting the pits? Is Pachetti's not really close to the McLaren in front, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they were battling beforehand, so Pachetti's maybe lost a bit of time in the pits. Let's look towards this battle again. The gap's come down to a second actually, so Castorino closing back in again. He's still got the fastest lap of the race, of course, a 2:15.9. Michael Races in the comments. Let's go Team Den. Den is currently running in P14, only 2.5 seconds off of Van Hoorn, so he's definitely got the P13 on the cards here. We'll keep an eye on these two. Let's see if we can find any more battles. Lucky's still yet to come out of the pits. Mullard into the pits now. D'Angelo in the pits as well. Brownhill into provisional P2. And look at the exit that Castorino's got. He's got super close on the exit of La Source. As we come down now towards Eau Rouge. Easy going to be able to get this move done down the Kemmel Straight. You see their sparks flying, the car's bottoming out ever so slightly at the top of Radeon as well. This is where the Honda is going to excel. The BMW of Sobzik going extremely defensive very early on. The Honda pulls out of the slipstream last second. He's going to be on the outside. It needs to be later on the brakes, and looks like he might have this done. No, they're still side by side. Nearly making contact there, but leaving just enough room for each other. And looks like the BMW back down the inside is still side by side. Oh, bit of door rubbing now between the two. And Sobzik's been able to hold on. Looks like that was just a bit of a racing incident between them. But Castorino obviously not happy with that. He's going to have to try and get this move done somewhere else. But amazing battling between the two. And that's exactly what we like to see here at the SimZone. And it looks like Mullard and Co. we're going to quickly have a look at in just a second if we can skip towards them. Very, very close on track here. Co trying to get past. He looks towards the inside. In fact, I think we're going to have to bring this battle up side by side here. Here we go. Co not able to find a way past just yet. I believe Mullard has lost a few positions. No, he's still in P7, and I believe he was in P5. We've still got a few drivers up in front who need to pit. Pryor, that's Matt Pryor, I believe. Trapani and Brownhill still yet to pit. And in the pit window, we've got about 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes left to go for this pit window. So we're definitely going to see them. Well, there we go. Trapani into the pits now. We're probably going to see the other two into the pits very shortly, this lap or the next. Otherwise they'll be cutting it very, very close, and could risk a penalty. But it looks like Castorino maybe struggling with a bit of pace now. He's going to have to do that work all over again to catch back up to Sobzik. And I think the Camel Straight is really where he's going to gain a lot of time. Well, on the exit of La Source, all the way down to the Camel Straight is where he's going to gain on the BMW here. And in fact, through La Source as well. On entry at least, he gains a lot of time. The gap's not 7 tenths anymore, it's down to 4 tenths between these two. And let's see what Castorino can do. Can he get past this time? This is his second opportunity now. The BMW once again going defensive, but these two not as close as they were before. Castorino using the slipstream once again, pulling to the outside, but no, tries the inside, tries the dummies on the grass, but doesn't look like he's going to make this stick. The BMW holds on there, and once again Castorino trying everything he can, but he's going to be on the inside for the second part. Contact between the two, and there we go. Castorino ahead. Sobzik, they're almost losing the car, and we look towards this battle as well. Ko and Mullard just holding on there, running a bit wide, but it looks like that was still within track limits. But unfortunately for Sobzik, I think that may have been another racing incident between the two. It's hard to tell from these trackside cams, but obviously we may see some some incidents being submitted towards the stewards towards the end of the, or at the end of the race. But in my opinion, that was just hard racing between the two. Castorino now in a comfortable P4. So we'll look down towards Mullard and Hans Ko. SVW saying love to see two battles at the same time. Yeah, I believe Lee, who was Lee Proth, who was watching last time, he said he was getting cross-eyed, didn't know which battle to look at. I mean, there's so many battles, and we miss quite a few already as it is. Just so hard to keep track of what's going on, but it's great that we have the opportunity to look at two battles at the same time. Now Ko not able to get close enough. Is that Palatella, sorry, in the background? It is indeed. With these two battling, he's closing in the gap. 2.2 seconds now. Looks like Pryor and Brownhill now into the pits, so that will be everyone done with their mandatory pit stop. And looks like Paul Mitchell, who we saw earlier, into the pits. He had a stop-go 30 penalty. Bogas with a stop-go 30 penalty as well. So I believe that's due to either speeding in the pit lane or track limits. I believe it's speeding in the pit lane. Track limits is usually a drive-through penalty. You can get a stop-go for cutting the track as well. Looks like these two are a bit spaced apart. Now they're still within a second, but we're going to skip to Curtin and Matheson. These two in a battle of their own at the moment. They were battling earlier on. Matheson, I believe, was behind, so he's got that position done on Curtin. And now for Curtin, he's going to have to hunt down Matheson to get that place back. Go on board here with Curtin, looking to gain this position, using the slipstream. He's going to pull towards the inside. This could be it for Curtin. We're going to go trackside once again. He's on the inside. He's got that position done there, utilising the slipstream, and easy peasy there for Curtin. He's going to say thanks for the slipstream. I'm coming through, and back up he goes into P14. Let's look further down the grid. Let's try and give everyone enough screen time as well. Montefusco in P34, still running the race. He's only 2 laps down, which isn't bad, and he's still going to score points, of course. Paul Mitchell still in the race in the P33 in the Audi as well. Obviously had that stop-go 30, so that's what's dropped him down the order here. Bogas in P32, also with the stop-go 30, but he's still sort of going to have to worry about Mitchell. Mitchell lapping quicker than him at the moment. And 8 seconds is definitely possible to close down in 19 minutes. Plenty of time in the race left to go. Looks like Novak and Pryor. Which Pryor is that? That's Stuart Pryor. Always have to check which one it is. Oh, that's brilliant. They are not far apart either. Novak in the Advisor Porsche as well. And looks like Pryor very wide there through Poulon. He's going to lose a bit of time. Maybe pick up a track limit penalty because of that. Now we've got the other Pryor as well. Battling with Rees in the BMW just in front. And we've also got Matheson, Curtin still. Looks like Pryor with a melee look down the inside, and Rees left the door wide open there. I think got a bit scared of the Audi, but that's kind of what you have to do. Put on the pressure, force the car in front to make an error, and that's pretty much what the Audi of Pryor did, and he's got past as a result. Luckily no contact between the two, and they continue now to race on track. Let's skip back to E14. Oh, looks like we've got I think that's Montefusco in the BMW. He's going to have to move out the way here very shortly. Hitting the wall earlier on. Really struggling in that M6. I assume now with the damage as well, it's not going to help him. There we go, doing a great job at moving out the way here. Let's skip to Co and Mullard as well. You've got Carlino and Puschetti battling for P18 and P19. Who will have a look at. There's so many battles going on, and usually what we have from past experience, not just this season but previous seasons, there's so many more battles towards the end. We have the random battles appearing out of nowhere in the last few laps. And Mullard down, sorry, no, not down the inside, that was a back marker. But yeah, we have so many battles towards the end, and it just keeps, it's just hard to keep track of who to watch. And we're going back to Puschetti and Carlino, BMW versus Aston Martin at the moment. Let's see, can the Aston Martin of Carlino get past? I believe he's repaired his damage, and yes, he has repaired his damage in the pit stops, and he's got a great exit out of Blanchimont. He's going to look towards the inside here later on the brakes, and he's going to have that one done easy there. Stops the car just in time as well, but oh, he's compromised his exit here, and looks like Puschetti's got a much better exit. Is it going to be enough for a move down the inside into turn one? Doesn't look like it. He's a bit far back, so Carlino holds on here into La Source. Sidor in P9, closing in on Chivo. These two having a bit of contact, I believe, not with each other, but in separate incidents earlier on in the race. And looks like actually Matheson in P14 has got back past Curtin, so he's done the old slipstream and pass there. Exactly what Curtin did to him earlier on in this race. And he's got back past. We've still got that battle between Co and Mullard. Co has been patient here, but I don't know if it's patience actually, or if it's just him not really able to get close enough to Mullard. In fact, we can check what lap times they've been doing. Mullard was that last lap of 2:18 flat, Hansco 2:18.1, so yeah, they've been lapping very similar times, and when you're that even on pace with someone, it's not easy to catch up to them. You really have to rely on well, the slipstream, or them to make an error, really, especially if you can't find, or you can't extract any more time. I'm sure Co at the moment, he doesn't really want to be taking any risks at this stage of the race. There's still 14 minutes left to go. Maybe once we get into the final few laps, he'll start taking a few more risks. But he's lost a bit of time here. He's now over a second and a half back to Mullard. But these two, Matheson and Curtin, still very, very close. Den there in P13, 3 seconds back to Van Hoorn. But Matheson only 2.5 seconds behind him, so he's still got to be careful here, but he can still catch up to Van Hoorn ahead as well. So let's actually have a look at Den. He's in the Audi. Let's compare his lap times to Van Hoorn. So here we go. That last lap, Van Hoorn did a 2:20.3, and for Patrick Den it was a 2:20.5. So a couple tenths slower there, but still very even on pace, and the gap's still 3 seconds between these two as well. And once again, with these two being even on pace, I think he's going to need to, well, Den's going to need to rely on Van Hoorn to make a mistake here if he wants to get anywhere close. We skip to Sidor and Shiva, P8 and P9. These two still very, very close once again. And you can see here on the review wing cam of Shiva, and in fact we'll go on board with Sidor as well. We can watch both perspectives at once. So Sidor still not able to get this move done. He's struggling on the straights. You can see how much time he loses, but into these slower corners, look how close he is on the brakes there into the bust-up chicane, and the acceleration of the Porsche is going to help him to stick with Shivo. That's the Reno in P2 now, after everyone has served their pit stops. Sobzik in P3. Rapani not too far behind Sobzik, but not sure if it's going to be possible unless we see any mistakes between, well, from Castorino at least. Now Sidor's got a good exit. He needs to stay in the slipstream here. And a mistake there from, a huge mistake there from both of them, in fact. They've both followed each other off into the wall, and who's it going to be out, who's going to be out in front? Looks like Sidor has made it out in front, and he might need to go defensive here. He goes defensive, now keeps the car in the middle of the track, and doesn't look like there's space there for the Ferrari, and they've made contact. There was no space whatsoever there for Shivo. He tried to risk, well, he risked it, and it didn't work out, but they're going to both have a bit more damage here, and I don't think Sidor's going to be happy with that one, but he stays ahead, luckily. But a bit of drama there unfolding. They both followed each other off, and yeah, some synchronized spinning there at the top of Radion. It's well, not great to see. Not great to see for the drivers, but for us it was quite amusing, in fact. But they are continuing with their race. Surprisingly, not too much damage. I don't know how they're feeling inside the car. It looks like a bit of splitter damage there for Zador. He's going to have some rear end damage as well. Some damage on the diffuser, but Shivo looks like he's really struggling with the car, oversteering pretty much in every corner. Looks like he's got, well, doesn't look like he's got as much damage as Sidor does, but it might just be the paintwork there of Sidor. Actually, no, there is quite a bit there on the rear, so that's probably why he's struggling with downforce. But it's as soon as we go on board with someone, something has to happen. It's just the commentator's curse here at the SimZone is way too strong. So if anyone has good luck charm or something, please give it to me. Or please give it to the drivers, in fact. Because I definitely need it with me commentating. We skip to these two once again, Matheson and Curtin. He's saying replay, what happened? Yeah, we'll bring that up, in fact. Conrad saying poor Mashigovsky, such an unfair fight. Yeah, he's the Mashigovsky currently in P31. Yeah, I mean the pace here in this championship is absolutely unreal. So we've got quite a few aliens in this one. So I'm sure racing with faster drivers will obviously improve your driving, especially practicing with them in the practice sessions. That's one of the best ways to get quicker in my opinion. It looks like Zanio and Pryor, they're in P23 and P24, very close to each other at the moment. Now let's spring, well, while we watch this battle, let's see if you can bring up a replay of what happened, or the synchronized spinning between Sidor and Shivo. So here we have it, the moment where it all unfolded. They exit the source, everything's perfectly fine. The Sidor gets a good exit as well, so they're still following each other here as they go through Eau Rouge now. Now they're up towards Radion. This is where they spin. Sidor spins there, likewise does the fire. They both end up in the barriers, and then Sidor somehow manages to get a better exit, well, or better rejoin, and he stays ahead. Sidor, I think a late defensive move towards the inside, but obviously the Ferrari with no space there tries it down the inside. Yeah, there's just no space there for Shivo, unfortunately, and luckily for Sidor, he stayed ahead and didn't get spun. But there we have it. That's what happened between the two. Whether that was the bug at Spa with the massive with the bump coming through Eau Rouge, I don't know, or if that was just them pushing a bit too hard. We will have to see. A bit of a Tokyo drift here from Seino, and he's lost the car, ended up in the barriers. Luckily it wasn't a heavy hit, but he's struggling with the rear end of that McLaren. Doesn't seem to have any damage on the rear either. Maybe just a bit too early on the power there for Seino. Now these two, oh my god, still in this battle. Curtin trying to find a way past. He's going to have the camel straight to do so once again. Now can he do what he did earlier, or is Matheson going to be able to defend? No, Curtin's got a better exit. Matheson running slightly wide, and is Curtin going to get past? He's almost pushing the Aston of Matheson down the Kemmel straight. Looks like he won't be able to get past though. He's looking towards the inside now. Is it going to be too late? They're side by side, and Curtin backing out on that one to Matheson, keeping the car in the middle coming down the Kemmel straight, not leaving much room for Curtin. Has successfully defended P14, and yeah, he's caught on to what Curtin was trying to do, and he's not letting that happen once again. So Matheson holds on P14, Curtin still in P15, and this is an amazing battle we've had. I know Matheson, I believe, was it the last season or the season before, had quite a few incidents. Obviously it was his first season racing with us, but he has definitely improved, and it's great to see. Now we can have some great battles here on track with Curtin. Curtin obviously being with us since, I don't remember if it's since the start, well, towards the start of the SimZone, I believe. Been just over a year now, or a year and a half, I think, since we started. So yeah, I don't expect me to remember everything that goes on, or that has gone on at least. We've had so many seasons now, some being shorter than others, but yeah, there's been so many drivers coming in, and yeah, it's amazing to see how much growth we've had here at the SimZone. Not just in terms of drivers, but in terms of racing as well. And we've got someone off there facing the wrong way. Who is that? It's Benequista. He's had a nightmare of a race here, and that may have been him losing the car through Blanchimont. We can even get a replay up of that just to see exactly what happened. Yeah, Benequista's having a terrible race. I think he's going to want to forget about this one after tonight, and we look towards Barth and Carlino. Carlino making up some positions now. Obviously he started in P5, so he's completely out of position at the moment. I'm sure he probably won't have much trouble getting past Barth here, especially bringing in the Porsche. Not going to have much straight line speed, and here we go. It's already side by side. I don't think Barth is going to be able to fight much. No, Carlino already passed there before we reach the braking zone, and up into P16 he goes. Jefferson there saying Sidor, Sidor, Sidor. Yeah, I think that was in response to the spin they had at Radion. I'm not sure. Or you're just showing your support for him. Let us know which of the two options it is, or if it's something else. Who knows? But Barth, yeah, it's going to be losing time now to Carlino. I think. Where's our race leader? Toki. 20-second lead for Castorino. He's still lapping in the low 216s, is Toki, so he hasn't lost pace whatsoever. I mean, sure, he's going to be able to hold on to this lead. Well, no, switch away, commentator's curse, don't want to do that. Castorino in P2, running with a comfortable 6 or 7 second gap to Sobzik. Trapani in P4, but yeah, pretty much the only battles are going on. Only close battles going on at the moment are Shivo and D'Angelo and Matheson and Curtin. I mean, these two neck and neck for as long as I can remember, actually. And it's going to be down to the wire between these two. In fact, we've got Novak and Senio side by side. Well, not side by side. It looks like Senio's got that move done. Oh, sorry, Novak's got that move done on Senio. We saw Senio earlier struggling with the rear end of that McLaren, but I think he's got it a bit more tamed now than what it was earlier, which is good to see. And unfortunately, we won't be able to get that replay up of what happened to Benequista. Here we go, Seno letting, I believe that is Castorino. Yes, it is. And Novak's going to have to do the same there, so no time lost. Well, oh, almost making contact there. That was a bit close. I barely spoke too soon. But could this allow Seno to get past Novak with a bad exit there out of the bus stop? And looks like Seno's going to be on the outside. He hasn't got much of an overlap here on the Porsche. He could, though, try. No, he's going to be much later on the brakes. Try on the outside, and they're still going to be side by side on the exit. The Porsche able to dictate his line there, closing the door, leaving no room on the exit. Looks like Den there, very close to, I believe that is Carl Van Hoorn. So I was saying the 3 second gap. It was possible for these two to get close, and in fact, we're going to bring that up very shortly. Let's do that now. Then, there we go. It was within a second to Van Hoorn. He's lost a bit of time now, but still on the cards. Looks like Shivo still ahead of D'Angelo here, but it's going to be close. Good exit there for D'Angelo out of last source. They're going to be side by side. Now this is where we saw a bit of a mishap earlier between Sidor and Shivo. Shivo squeezing D'Angelo there to the pit wall. A bit of door up in between the two, but they've kept it clean so far. Let's hope they can keep it clean as we come down towards the Camel Straight now, where they've got one of the back markers in front of them. He moves off towards the racing line. These two almost side by side. They're fully side by side now, and D'Angelo on the outside is going to need to be later on the brakes. He is, but oh, bit of oversteer there for Shivo, and they are still side by side, but Shivo holds on and he's held on to that position just about. It could have ended in tears for both of them. This is great racing, and it looks like Shivo slightly deep. D'Angelo backing out of that. That could have been contact as well, but these two look like they know what they're doing. We'll leave it up to them. Gabe saying Montefusco can't drive for his life. Not very nice, but I assume one of his friends ran out of fuel. Oh no. Really unfortunate, and Shivo having to go defensive now. In fact, we're too busy watching this battle, but Atoki has crossed the line in P1 here to win the opening round of the IMB Racewear GT3 Championship. Castorino crosses the line in P2. He had a tough race, did Castorino, but managed to get a podium in the end. Sobzik there in P3, rounding off the podium here for the first round. Trapani finishes in P4, Mullard in P5, Hansko in P6, Palatella in P7, Sidor coming up towards the bus stop now is going to finish in P8, and let's see if we can catch any battles as they come across the line. You can see there in the background. There we go, Sidor flashing his lights. Shivo, oh, that's D'Angelo wide there. Shivo's just going to hold on here as we cross the line in P9. D'Angelo in P10. Brownhill is going to finish in P11. Van Hoorn, is he going to hold on? Looks like he is. The gap between Den and Van Hoorn back to 3 seconds. So Van Hoorn's going to cross the line in P12 there. Flash of lights from him. He looks to be happy with that result. Patrick Den going to cross the line in P13. Curtin looks like he did get past Matheson. He's going to finish in P14. Carlino in P15. Matheson down in P16. So something definitely happened there. But I mean, what a race we had with these guys. We're going to see if we can get some interviews with the top three, so we'll be back very shortly. Make sure to stick with us. Let's wait and see if we can get any interviews with the top three. What a race we had. So many battles going on, a bit of drama unfolding as well, but that's what keeps things interesting in racing. But if you don't get the top three in for an interview, try and interview some more drivers, but just stick with us while we do so. We've still got 30 people watching, which is amazing. So let's hope we can try and find them on the Discord. Just bear with us. Please be patient. Yeah, let us know who you think your driver of the day was in the comments. We will have voting back up for round 2. Actual voting where you can click on a name and we'll decide the driver of the day at the end. But yeah, let us know in the comments who you think your driver of the day was. I know there's a lot of names to try and pick from. Right, let's see if we've got anyone waiting. Have we got any more comments? Edie saying hit the like button, everyone. Yep, make sure to do so. Gabe saying personally, if I were Montefusco, I'd throw in the match. No, it's great to finish a race even if you're off pace. I mean, there are some serious aliens in this championship at the moment, so you're not always going to be up there. It's always good to continue the race, gain some experience on track as well. More racing the better, especially with the faster drivers. If they're lapping you, you can try and follow the lines as well, so it's not all bad being towards the back of the grid. And I'm sure you'll find some more battles throughout the season. Remember, it's only the first round, and Spa being a massive track, the grid is usually more spaced out than normal. Let's see if we can get anyone in. No, it doesn't look like the top 3 are going to be joining, so let's try and get someone else for an interview. Bear with us one moment again. I'm sure we'll get someone in for an interview. Yeah, we've got some few people, a few drivers now. I think we're gonna have to limit it to the top 5 for future, but otherwise we're gonna be here forever. But here we go. Amas, thank you for the kind words. Awesome broadcast. Yeah, it's great to see the appreciation from you guys. Really appreciate it, everyone. And thanks for sticking around as well. Let's move Jan. Jan, hello once again. I think we're going to have you in here every day, to be honest.
I try to do every day, but yeah, I think yesterday I didn't because it's the stage for the top 3. But today I think the guys are a little bit shy, so...
Yeah. But yeah, I can't remember where you finished. There's so many battles going on.
I started P20 and I finished P16 or 17. I was overtaken by Aston Martin, I think the last 2-3 minutes, but he was so fast I can't even follow. I can't even follow any car on the straight, so
yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Only gains in the corner. So, but yeah, it was good race, clean race. The funniest thing was I was in the qualifying. I deleted my lap time in La Source on the inside.
Oh no!
Because I was clipping a little bit the wall and it said lap invalidated. I was like, "Are you serious? Wait, on that corner."
Yeah, but were you up on your time then, or?
No. It was in it was La Source. It was the first corner.
Oh, La Source, right.
Yeah,
yes.
And then you have the inside of the with the curb, and then I hit a little bit, clipped a little bit the wall, and then the game says lap invalidated. So that was the funniest thing.
Oh, brilliant. Anyways, yeah, it's hard to keep track. I'm sure it's hard for you since you're racing in every one of our championships. Hard to keep track of what track is next.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in the Discord that maybe I want to get employed some secretaries for doing my schedule. So yeah.
Yeah, but the next round for the IMB Racewear Championship is Brands Hatch. Now, I know the Porsche's quite good there, so you feeling a bit more confident going into that round, or is Brands not a track you like?
I like every British track, to be honest. I'm quite a fan of the British GT Championship, so yeah, and of course the Porsche and Brands is a weapon. That's for sure. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next race on next Wednesday, for sure.
Yeah, great to hear. Next race for you is going to be on Friday. So you've got a bit of a rest now, unless you're racing somewhere else on Thursday.
Yeah, if I don't have any indoor football training, I will come here to race, for sure.
Yep. Anyway, it's great seeing you once again. And yeah, let's hope to see you on Friday.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Thank you.
Good night. Let's bring in Ben here. Ben, how was that?
Yeah, it was great. It was great to be back racing. I haven't been racing for a few months, so it's my first race back, and I was pretty chuffed really with P5, considering the pace of some of those people at the front. Because I could see them, some of them were doing like 15s and 16s and stuff, and I was like, bloody hell, I can't keep up with that. So so I was pretty happy in the end.
Yeah, I saw you had a good battle with... Oh, I can't remember their name. There's so many names to keep track of. It was a Ferrari.
Yeah, it's HCO, I think.
Co, yeah, that's it. And
yeah, so I came out the pits and he was just behind me, and he pitted a few laps earlier before me, and he was just behind me then. I struggled a little bit, like the first 2 laps after I come out of the pits with the cold tyres, until they kind of got up to pressure. So it was a bit of a struggle to keep him behind me, but he fought very fair to be honest. But as sort of like the race went on towards the end, I think my newer sort of tyres probably paid dividends really, and helped me pull away from him a little bit.
Yeah, and I know when you were, well, leading up to this round, you weren't really feeling very confident with the Audi through a Rouge, were you?
No, it's a little bit sketchy sometimes. I'm still kind of feel like I'm learning the Audi a little bit, but a lot of the other cars that I've tried on Spa before have been a bit more planted through there. So this one just have to be just a little bit careful, because sometimes the rear end just wants to get loose. And there was a couple of times where it got a little bit skittish, but I was trying to play it safe really and avoid the off tracks or any big incidents.
Yeah, and it's great to have you back with us once again as well. And looking towards next round, Brands Hatch, how are you feeling going into there?
Not my favourite track, to be honest. It's very tight, very narrow, very difficult to overtake. It's usually instant packed as well because of those sort of reasons that I've mentioned just. So yeah, I would just be hoping to keep out of trouble really, and just try and bring the car home in one piece, and hopefully that will get me a decent position.
Yeah, anyways, congratulations on the great result, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Look forward to seeing yourself. Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care. Right, so there we have it. We've got one more driver to interview. We've got Donatas. I think it'll be our first time hearing from you, or my first time hearing from you at least. Yeah, how was that race?
A bit of positive after all, even after making quite a few mistakes that got me close to the walls. Because been struggling with pace recently in the practice, and finally kinda recovering a bit.
Yeah, well, good to see you're getting back into it. I think you've been out of it for quite a while. Am I mistaken, or?
Yeah, because work reasons and stuff.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's good.
So I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's good to have you back though, and obviously you've been a massive support here at the SimZone, so we really appreciate it. And yeah, we hope to see some good results from you as well in the next round. And you're driving the Lexus at the moment, coming into Brands Hatch, which is next round. How are you feeling?
Actually, I don't know. I'm actually lately, I'm even after Donington, the championship.
Yep.
I like the Lexus, but I'm kind of starting like maybe it's not the best.
Yeah, not the best.
Sometimes you have to look for control and not just liking.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe in future seasons might be switching cars then.
Yeah, I'm actually considering probably McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren's a good car.
Yeah, it was the first car, one of the first cars that I used once I started this game.
Yeah, I think the Lexus...
like the brand as well, and of course.
Yeah, I think the Lexus has dropped off quite a bit in terms of being like one of the fastest. It used to be really, really good in the wet as well, and that was nerfed at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe.
And of course, I'm lacking a bit of hands with it, and very easily to oversteer it, and the rear becomes very loose.
Yeah, and that's a problem when you've got that much power in a car like that. But we hope for we hope you can tame that beast throughout this season, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Take care.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us tonight. We'll be back live on Friday, so we've got Thursday off, thankfully, for me at least. But yeah, from us, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on Friday. Take care. Good night.